What's going on, everybody? So a couple USC things before I get into the game. Yes, it was both Eric Gentry and Anthony Lucas who were put out for the season due to injuries, and I believe even Eric Gentry, the linebacker, is going to redshirt, so he is most likely going to return next season. He feels like he has to return and not just go to the NFL. I guess Lucas has a decision to make because he technically can go to the NFL after 3 years, but hopefully he will be back for a nice senior season to help bolster and help out that defense. But they did get some pretty good news before that game on Saturday. A four-star offensive lineman, Aaron Dunn, who was committed to Utah for a very long time. He had decommitted the day before his commitment to USC, but yeah, he committed to USC. I think it was like either Thursday or Friday, so a couple days right before that debacle of a game. But I don't know where his mindset is right now, thinking about what he ended up just seeing right before or right after he committed. But hopefully he's going to stick around like some of these other guys. But yeah, it was pretty bad weekend overall. And speaking of that game, yes, USC ended up losing to Maryland 28-29. Pretty much in my notes, I just had they were up by 2 scores in the fourth quarter, and they just let that go. Gave up injury. They had a bunch of injuries throughout that game. They had a bad interception by Miller Moss towards the later part of that game. The defense pretty much fell apart in the fourth quarter as well. They are 3-4 on the season. And yeah, overall, it just wasn't good. It was one of the first games I've been able to watch this season fully. And yeah, it really was not worth it. They kind of should have had this victory in the bag. Even everybody around the country assumed they were just going to get a big-time victory, especially in the fourth quarter, leading by that amount of points. But for some reason, this team just makes some costly, bad decisions at the wrong time, and it ends up hurting them. And I think that's why even Maryland ended up going for 2 at some point in the fourth quarter, because they just felt like they could do anything against USC's defense, and they were correct, because then they were able to get that 2 points, and all they had to do was kick the extra point after they scored later in the fourth with like a minute to go, and then that was it. They got the victory. So I don't know, maybe it's a change away from Miller Moss to go to Mayaba finally. I know Lincoln Riley has been closing down a bunch of the practices this week, but I guess it's more because they have to play later. They play at 8 o'clock on Friday, and it's also a day sooner against a Rutgers team who is pretty tough, but they should beat them too. But who knows now, and who knows if they're even going to be bowl eligible. They have to get at least 3 more wins to go to a bowl game at the end of the season. But I guess we'll just hope out for the best in this situation. And then the USC women's basketball team is ranked number 3. I think it's by the AP poll, so I don't care really about the AP poll. But yeah, they deserve to be a top 3 team overall in the country, in my opinion. So I am not mad about that whatsoever. And speaking of a couple guys who weren't fazed by that loss to Maryland, a couple of the recruits, local guys, and the linebacker Tagoa'I, the 4-star, and then also another 4-star cornerback, and Tristan Castro, said they're still pretty much committed to USC. They're not going to be shopping around or anything like that. So I expect it from those guys. It's just some of those other guys I have kind of been more worries about them leaving the class. But either way, I'm so happy that those guys still ended up saying that earlier on this week. And then some Duke news. Yes, the ex-Duke player Jalen Johnson of the Atlanta Hawks signed a 5-year, $150 million extension with the team. So yeah, congrats to him. Definitely deserves it. He's been progressing more and more every single year, and I know those first couple years were a bit rocky because he was still hurt from when he was at Duke. He didn't even play a full season while at Duke, but he's definitely progressed very well, and definitely very happy for him and his success as of right now. And then speaking of the Duke football team, yes, they did play Florida State, and kind of everybody expected them to lose, but they were able to get that victory against them 23-16, and it's the first time ever in their program's football history to defeat Florida State, which is really awesome. So finally was great to be able to finally see that. And then now they're also bowl eligible. Unlike USC, this is Duke's 6th win of the season. Who would have thought that Duke football would have a better record than USC football as of right now? But I guess that's just how topsy-turvy my teams and colleges are as of right now that I follow. So yeah, great accomplishment for Duke. Hopefully they can still continue to win a couple more games and maybe get ranked too. An ex-Duke player, Jared McCain, had a nasty fall during one of those preseason games, and he was released from the hospital the next day, so that's at least good to hear. Hopefully it's nothing too serious, but it looked pretty bad when it happened. Then the Duke basketball team did have one of their first exhibition games against Lincoln and got that victory 107 to 56. Both Cooper Flagg and Colin Knuppel combined for 39 points and a couple of nice dunks as well. So yeah, it was very cool to see that team get gelled together as of right now with quite a bit of transfers and freshmen, but a lot of these freshmen look like they're prepared and ready to go, and also a lot of these transfers did good too, so definitely very excited about this team. And I think they were ranked number 7 in the country, which is pretty surprising because I thought they had a lot of talent, especially when it comes to the ACC. Cooper Flagg is pretty much everything. He's picked to be the ACC Rookie of the Year. He was also an ACC first-team player. And then the ACC also picked Duke to win the conference, which isn't that surprising, I guess. And then also Cooper Flagg was named an AP All-American. Like I said, I don't really care about what the AP says, but it's pretty obvious that this guy is very talented, and hopefully he will be able to live up to the hype. The Anaheim Ducks had a couple of wins to start the season. They did beat San Jose Sharks 2-0 and the Utah Hockey Club, I think that's what they call themselves, 5-4. So that was very cool to see. So hopefully they can continue some of their winning ways the rest of the year. And then a couple of guys for the Chargers, Asante Samuel Jr. and Gus Edwards were put to the IR, which was kind of interesting. It kind of went under the radar. The team didn't even really announce it. So, yeah, I guess they're on the IR, so hopefully they can come back. But I guess that's why they were able to lose this last Monday night to a struggling Arizona team, 15-17 on Monday night. And, yeah, they definitely should have had this victory, but all they could get were field goals. And then even when they got to the red zone, they ended up fumbling the ball, but a couple yards to go. So I don't know, something's a bit wrong with this team. Maybe they need to make a trade on offense and hope that their defensive guys get a little bit more healthier. But yeah, it's not looking good so far for the LA Chargers. Yeah, first game of the World Series, Dodgers versus Yankees. I guess the MLB cannot be happier about these two teams finally facing off in the World Series in a very long time. So yeah, obviously pulling for the Dodgers. I only know one Yankee fan, so I guess it outranks all the Dodger fans that I know. So I will be pulling for LA, and hopefully they could get this cross-country victory, because yeah, it's going to be like 2 games in LA, 3 games in New York. So hopefully it doesn't go that far, and they have to stay in New York for 3 straight games. But yeah, let's go Dodgers, and bleed blue, let's go. So yeah, thanks for watching, people. Like and subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what y'all think. Have a good rest of your day. Bye. I guess we'll still fight on.